fact that Sean McDermott, with Josh Allen, with all of those weapons and so much talent on defense, could not get to where they needed to go, could not get to the Super Bowl, could not take the next step. Certainly something that directly contributed to owner Terry Pagula making the decision today that Sean McDermott should be out. Now, make no mistake, this is something that has been weeks coming with Sean McDermott being the Buffalo head man for several seasons. My understanding is McDermott himself had some questions about how much talent the Bills had. I'm not sure that sat well in the building, considering most teams believe they are stocked full of talent. The Bills wanted a new leader. I'm not sure what wholesale changes there will be to what the Bills do, but they wanted a new leader, deciding that Sean McDermott was not the coach for them moving forward. Now it is a new day in Buffalo with no doubt one of the most coveted openings still unfilled, Judy.
Most teams believe?
Ian Rappaport. Hold on. Yes. Hi, good morning, Jeremy and Joe. Now that we're streaming, should we be we're on the radio too, if you're listening there, hi. Yeah. Should we be doing more visual gags, visual bits? Because considering most teams believe this is a team stocked with talent, is worthy of drinks, water,
spit take.
Excuse me? Would you just poll the teams? They do?
Is that like just, we're taking the every week when a reporter asks the other coach about the team, it's a good team. It's a good team over there. Like, is that what we're using to qualify? Most teams believe they're stocked with talent.
Yeah,
stocked.
I've decided just to real quick go to the NFL's top 100. Imperfect, but let's just do that. How many players the Bills have make the top 100? Answer 3. You know who also had 3 players? Arizona has 3. The Falcons have 3.
Mm-hmm. Bad teams.
Bad teams.
Yeah, bad teams.
The Bengals have 4. The Browns have 2. The Cowboys have 2. The Broncos have 4. The Lions have 5, 6, 7.
It's
most teams believe this is a team stocked with talent. Listen, they got
on what planet?
They got some nice players, but holy cow, take a little off the statement. Take a little bit off of that one, maybe.
We had a caller last segment that said this. That if Bo Nix was quarterbacking that team, they'd be like a 6-win football team. That's about how I feel about them. They would not be a playoff team without Allen. And you know what? Some of those Allen teams would be. I think. The ones with Diggs and the ones with Prime, Poyer, and Hyde and, Vaughn for half a season. There were some stock teams, I would say, over the past 9 years. And some of those probably would have been good, even if you didn't have the superhero quarterback. But, what do you think last year would have been if they had a league average quarterback? Don't make it a backup. Make it a league average starter. What are they? They're not a playoff team.
No, they're the Steelers, probably.
That was a playoff
team. 9-8. They're 8-9.
Right, maybe that because McDermott then would be Tomlin in this.
They're
in this
7-10.
Scenario. I mean, I can't. What would they be? They'd be a team that can run the ball. That you put a league average quarterback with that receiving core and see how it looks, and then the defense just it doesn't have the talent level. No. And if you believe that, I don't know. I don't know what you're drinking your own Kool-Aid. I don't understand how you could look at that defense and say it's flush with talent.
803-0550. All right, so here's a question for you. Joe Brady got a second interview in Baltimore. He might get a head coaching job. Tennessee's off the table. Miami is off the table. Brady is interviewed in
Baltimore,
Vegas. In Vegas, yes.
And he's going to have a second interview with the Ravens.
Yes, and now McDermott. We'll see if he gets any interviews and he enters the hiring cycle as well. Because Brady, I guess, is a candidate for this job as well. And I get the sense that would go over very poorly. Could it work? Maybe. What's he do? Does he keep Bobby Babich? Is Bobby Babich going with McDermott if he gets a job somewhere? Is McDermott taking a year off?
Do they do that because they want to keep the same staff?
I don't know. I don't know how seriously to take the idea of Joe Brady being the head coach. So here's the question. If Brady were to go with McDermott wherever he goes, would you feel better about the Bills making this move? You hear McDermott gets the job in Baltimore, Brady doesn't get a job, he brings Brady with him, and the Bills are starting over again pretty much at full staff. I would rather lose McDermott and Brady than I would I guess in one case.
Keep Brady and McDermott?
Maybe. I might be there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty close to that.
I don't want the same offense. Like I don't want to do this again. The last thing I want to do is have them continue to learn the wrong lessons where their quarterback can make amazing throws and also, be kind of limited because he's on a leash throwing to Mac Hollins, MVS. Like, we've gone through the list. I don't want them to continue to think, well, we scored 30 points, that means we're good. Please, watch the league. Mm-hmm. Watch the league. It's not just about how they have neglected one position. It's how they've neglected arguably the second most important position.
Mm-hmm.
So,
your quarterback is getting hit along the way while that's happening all year long.
You're running mesh concepts. Yep. You're constantly running bubble screens and hook and ladders to bail you out. You're asking him to extend plays. Like, I don't know. Is it crazy just to say, what if you did what a lot of other teams do and highly value a highly valuable position?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see many outcomes where Brady is still here, right? Because I guess he could get the head coach job. He could just become their head coach. I think that's nuts, but maybe that's where we end up. If that's not where we end up, he's not staying on as the coordinator for a new head coach. A new head coach is going to want their own coordinator, and unless that person has worked with Joe Brady before, and who is that? They're not hiring Matt Rule to be their head coach. Like, there's nobody I can think of that, like, oh yeah, I want to keep Brady around. Like, the new guy's going to want his own guy. Or maybe it's going to be an offensive guy who's just calling his own plays. No one won't even care.
It just has to be a play caller. Right?
That's what I think.
It has to be an offensive guy. What you have to shoot for, I think, as the GM, any GM worth of salt would say, a thing I can exploit in the league today is getting continuity of play caller and keep the same guy with my guy. I know who it should be. It's going to be this guy. And when it works for 2 years, he doesn't have to leave.
Right.
That's got to be what they go for.
Yeah, and that is, like Mina Kimes, we played the clip earlier. She doesn't think there's a lot of those candidates out there right now that are very impressive. Maybe Kubiak would be that, and we went through a couple of the names.
Shieldhouse is like one of them, the Rams passing game coordinator.
But has he ever called plays before?
Davis Webb is another one, top of list. Also, Brian Dable, of course, has been a head coach before.
Right.
Do you learn?
But again, some of these guys have never called plays before.
Right.
Davis Webb's never called plays before.
And they, in a prime Super Bowl window for the Bills, they went to a first-time play caller in Ken Dorsey.
Right. And now you'd be making a guy like that your head coach. Not just your offensive coordinator, your head coach, which is more on their plate than just that. There's game management, there's everything.
Right.
So, like, I'm not saying I don't want that. I do. I just think there's a very select few of names that I think they should be chasing on that front, and I'm not convinced they're going to do that. I think right now I'd probably lean that way, but like Sal said yesterday, like, it's either a Super Bowl winning coach or a coordinator. Like, one of the two.
I just can't imagine what Super Bowl winning coach it would be.
No, I mean either. Like, and I think there is a possibility that they will hire some defensive-minded McDermott type of coach.
Jesse Minter.
Right. Like,
who is not hired anywhere yet, and he's had a ton of interviews.
If we are to believe, even part of that Rappaport point, that part of the reason McDermott is gone was relationships, was what was happening behind the scenes, what was happening in the building. Was someone actually upset, was being upset that he was questioning the roster in public even leading on, let alone maybe in private also. If all of that was happening, then one of the biggest reasons why McDermott would be gone would have nothing to do with the fact that he's a defensive-minded coach or even what's been happening on the field. This is about the working relationship. That's why he's gone. And if that's the case, then why wouldn't they be open to hiring a defensive-minded coach?
Sure, right.
And that's what scares me. Because if they bring in, who's the top defensive name that's still available? Salah's gone.
Jesse Minter.
Right, Jesse Minter. They hired Jesse Minter. I don't know. Like, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough for me to get behind.
Brian Flores. You want an aggressive defense, Brian Flores would give you an aggressive defense.
What I will say is on the temporary basis, like, I want offensive-minded because you're going to have that for years and years and years. On a temporary basis, like, if you want a new offense, you're getting that.
Right. What might win the fastest?
Right. Like, because Brian Flores comes in and I'm getting a new offense, I just might only have it for a couple years.
Right.
But Joe Brady's not sticking on as my offensive coordinator. Flores is going to bring in his own guy. Although, do you remember who the offensive coordinator was when Flores was the head coach in Miami?
No.
It was Chan Gailey.
Okay.
So I'm not sure who he would. I don't think it'd be Chan Gailey.
Super Bowl winning coaches, we'll get to calls here. There is one name I would welcome with wide open arms.
Okay, it's not Tomlin.
Nope.
It's not McCarthy.
Nope.
It's not Belichick.
Nope. It's not Doug Peterson. It's not Gary Kubiak. It's not Tom Coughlin.
Jimmy Johnson.
No.
I don't know. Who's left?
There's one name I'd just...
Harbaugh's gone.
I'd pick him up at the airport. He's old, but I'd pick him up at the airport.
He's old, but I'd pick him up at the airport. How old?
73.
73. I mean, it's not Pete Carroll.
No, I don't know if he wants to coach anymore.
73.
Yep. I'd pick up Bruce Arians at the airport.
Oh.
It's not going to be Bruce Arians. But Bruce Arians is
Arians.
You can't do better. If you're going Super Bowl winner.
How long has it been since he coached? Like 4 years? I'd be scared of something like that.
Sure.
Are you up with the league?
Yes.
You think Arians is up with the league?
Yeah.
All right.
Arians is S tier offensive guy. Yep. Jimmy in Miami. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, guys. As they say in Miami, buenos dias. I agree with the Mina Kimes take on that. It really is a bad year. This just seems like ready, fire, aim, And if people are worried about McDermott, I mean, if John Harbaugh could get $100 million and a 5-year contract, $20 million a year, I mean, that puts the Great Train Robbery in 1963 to shame. I think McDermott, if he doesn't get a job this year, next year, and the next cycle, he's even going to get more money than Pagula was paying. But the way I feel, and I like the way you guys piece everything together. I listen every morning. But I think Pagula, maybe he was sitting there thinking, and he saw what happened this year with Ben Johnson in Chicago and how quickly he turned that around. And Vrabel, that's got to be driving them crazy. They won 4 games last year in New England, and now they're going to the championship and maybe even the Super Bowl now with Nick's hurt. And then you got Mike McDonald in Seattle in 2 years.
Jimmy, these are all good points. These are good points for teams that are 5-12. Like it's a little bit like I just want to jump in here. It's a little bit like, do you know how much work it takes if you're a golfer to go from a guy that shoots 100 to shoots 85?
Oh,
it takes some work.
Yep.
You know how much work it takes to go from 85 to 75? 10 times as much.
Yep.
Like the idea that you're going to just, hey, Vrabel went from 4-13 to 13-4. Like, oh, great.
That's the easier part.
That is the easy part.
Yeah.
The hard part is going from 13-4 to beating all the other 13-4 teams in single standalone games, sometimes on the road, through injury, through officiating calls, through bad luck. That's the hard part. And you can't just find a guy who's going to turn it around.
Right.
So I think it's a fair point to make, and it's one of the reasons that if, all these years, think back to all the years we wanted a Bills coaching change, and someone would say, like, what about the continuity of Dick Geron? What about the continuity if Marone leaves? Like, that doesn't actually matter unless you're actually good. Mm-hmm. And then, sure, you want to talk about culture and a guy that has a winning recipe or a winning formula. But to go from, listen, the Bills this year, I thought they were going to make the Super Bowl as the 6th seed in their worst regular season, and they ultimately didn't. So what does a turnaround look like? What if they go 11-6, but that wins the division? Is that better? They win fewer games, but they finish higher in their division. They go farther. 15-2, and then they lose as the 1 seed at home. Were they better? It's not the same. Now you're the scratch golfer that's got to just beat the other scratch golfers. Yeah. You're not just trying to get better now.
No, it's about your Fleetwood, and it's about winning. It's about winning an actual tournament.
Right.
Like, it's no longer just you're one of the best.
You're
we
there
all know you're one of the best, but go get a trophy.
Right. Tommy Fleetwood's such a good call out there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I guess the 1 seed could be part of it too. Like they've
never got it.
They've never had it.
They never
but that
got
is
it.
all. That is all just an exercise into what gives you the easiest path to make the Super Bowl. Because, like you said, you win the 1 seed, you lose in the divisional round. Nobody's going to care that you had the 1 seed. The 1 seed's about getting to the Super Bowl. So yeah, like I think that's where a new coach will come in, and it will be the immediate pressure that McDermott was also feeling. Because at the same time, like that coach now, you're tied to Bean.
Well,
like maybe it's the same structure where, well, maybe not. If he's president of football operations, is this coach reporting to Brandon Bean? Maybe that's something he'll tell us in the press conference. But that'll feel different. Before it was McDermott over here, Bean over here. They're both reporting to Terry. Neither can fire each other, and like they just kind of operate together, but they're in separate buckets.
Right.
Whereas now, I feel like whoever the next coach is, that's Bean's guy. That's Bean's guy, which means if you go through 2 more years where they have letdowns, maybe they don't win the division and they lose in the wild card round, or hell, maybe they miss the playoffs in one of those years, people are going to want Bean out. And if people want Bean out, the coach is going with him. Like I can't see many situations where Clint Kubiak is their head coach and they have 2 letdowns in a row, and everybody's going, well, fire Bean, but keep Kubiak. No. Like, that guy is going with the GM eventually, if that's how it plays out. It's his guy.
right. And then
It's going to be his guy.
what I was going to ask is, like, on that, Brandon Bean, he should be asked next time he's at a podium, which will happen this week, do you think this is a championship roster? Which he said previously, yes.
Yep.
So you believe it's a championship roster. Did you fire your coach because you felt you should be in the championship with this roster?
Or because you were miffed that he wouldn't say that it was a championship roster? Is that why he's fired?
I mean,
Is that possible?
he didn't have the power to fire McDermott.
No, but he might have had the power to convince someone to fire
He only
McDermott.
convinced the person that would fire McDermott that you should fire McDermott.
Right.
803-0550. More of your phone calls. Rob, Jimmy, Bill, Chris, Anthony, DJ. Stick with us.